Coming up on today's show, in studio with me, Jenni Leavitt and Maria Ahlers. They're going to talk about the acquisition and partnership between RPS Benefits by Design and Leavitt Strategic Benefits. You'd be surprised what you're going to hear today. Stay tuned, listen, and learn.
And now, America's healthcare advocate, Cary Hall.
Hello, America. Welcome to America's Healthcare Advocate Show, broadcasting coast to coast across the USA here on the HIA Radio Network. You can find out more about us by going to the website, americashealthcareadvocate.com. As always, these shows are up on our 16 podcast channel platforms, several of which now allow us to post the videos as well, and our YouTube channel. By the way, the combined effort on both those now is 683,000 views, downloads by all of you in the audience. It's really quite remarkable, and I can only say thank you to you and to all of our terrestrial radio partners around the country on our 243 affiliates. If you are chronologically challenged or looking for ACA, you can always call the good folks over at RPS Benefits by Design. They're happy to help you in any way they can, anywhere in the country. And if you're looking for employee benefits, employer benefits, group benefits, the lovely Maria Ahlers, who just happens to be in studio today, will be happy to help you anywhere in the country if you're looking for group health insurance. So, welcome back, Maria.
Hi, Cary.
I already told everybody you're here.
It's nice to be back.
Jenni Leavitt. Welcome, Jenni. We're happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Cary.
Well, we have some exciting news to share today. So there is a partnership now between Leavitt Strategic Benefits and RPS Benefits by Design. So my old namesake is going to go away, the Benefits by Design portion.
But your spirit will always be there.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So why don't we talk a little bit about why this decision was made, Maria, what it means to RPS Benefits by Design, and how it's going to help you in the marketplace with brokers and clients.
Yeah,
Maria?
yeah. We're so excited about this partnership. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. RPS Benefits by Design has now been acquired by the Leavitt Group out of Cedar City, Utah. We will be changing our name to Leavitt Strategic Benefits. Here in the next couple of weeks, you'll hear more about that in our press release. Cary, this isn't a change just for the sake of changing. We always are looking ways to improve and do what's best for our clients. And Leavitt really was a great match for us. You'll have the same team, so nothing's changing locally. Same relationships. But what Leavitt Group brings to all of our clients is more resources. So with that said, I probably should let Jenni speak for why Leavitt Group chose RPS Benefits by Design.
Well, before you do that, let me tell the audience a little bit about Jenni. So Jenni is an agency partner and vice president of the agency operations at Leavitt Group. She brings over a decade of leadership and experience in the insurance industry. Throughout her career, she has played a key role in helping independent agencies grow, scale, and thrive within an increasingly complex marketplace. I don't think, Jenni, anybody would argue that it's increasingly complex. And it's not getting any less complex as time goes on. So let's talk about this. Why did you pick RPS Benefits by Design? Your thoughts about the Kansas City Metro, this marketplace, and why you wanted to be here, Jenni?
First of all, thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity, and I'm so excited to be here with Maria. Maria and RPS, well, formerly RPS, now Leavitt Strategic Benefits, is really a great fit for the Leavitt Group culture. Leavitt Group really looks for agencies that fit from a cultural standpoint, and it's kind of a great model just because it's got that local feel and local ownership and the investment that is there on the ground, making the business better, doing what's best for the agency locally and for the clients and the employees, but is able to take advantage of the national resources that come along with being part of a larger group.
Well, Maria, you've got to feel pretty good about this, because when you're a medium to, small to medium sized agency, and Benefits by Design was a smaller agency, and RPS, the two came together and made a bigger agency. But having the resources and the tools when you're up against, the Locktons of the world and some of the hubs and some of the other mega agencies, and you're competing with them, and oftentimes beating them, I might add.
Thank you.
I had to get that in there.
Yes.
But having the resources and as Jenni said, being able to scale to grow the agency, it's very difficult to do if you don't have those resources. So talk about that and what they bring to the party as far as you're being able to now do some of the things you couldn't do before.
Well, and to your point, Cary, earlier when you said health industry benefits is really a complex industry, and so with Leavitt Group, we're absolutely excited about it. We're able to provide our clients with more resources. A lot of the things that are coming that's emerging in the market is, pharmacy consulting, data analytics, benchmarking. We definitely have the systems. Just the different resources Leavitt can bring to us that is more at the larger corporate level, but you still get that local feel. And that type of model really works for us. We love it. We think it's exciting. All the things that we are doing now. We have a great marketing team that does all these wonderful releases for us and media for us. They have a resource center that is mainly for all Leavitt agencies. And that resource center has data analytics, benchmarking, technology.
Those are all things that are critical now in today's world because you're trying to keep up with the larger mega agencies, if you will, out there, as I mentioned in the past. Leavitt happens to be a pretty good-sized agency itself. You've got 80 agencies and 290 locations in 30 states, Jenni. You're not exactly small potatoes anymore.
That's true. We have grown substantially over the last 20 years. We've focused a lot on acquisition. Leavitt Group did start 70 years ago, so we do have a number of years of experience. And this partnership has really been able to prove to be successful because of that local feel and the national resources.
Yeah, you've been around since 1952. You're not exactly new in the business.
Exactly.
So that's definitely some time. 70 years in the business is a pretty good deal. So they definitely bring experience and all of these resources to the party. So when we come back from the break, we'll talk a little bit about specifically what they hope to accomplish here in the Kansas City Metro and what they're going to do to improve the opportunities for employers out there that are looking for something other than the BUCA models that might make a big difference in the cost of their health insurance. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break. You're listening to America's Healthcare Advocate, broadcasting on the HIA Radio Network, coast to coast across the USA. If you want to learn more, go to the website, leavitt.com. That's leavitt.com. Or call Maria today at 877-385-2224. Anywhere in the country, they're happy to help you. Stay right there. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back. You're listening to America's Healthcare Advocate Show, broadcasting coast to coast across the USA here on the HIA Radio Network. Want to give a shout out to KNTR 94.3 FM in Phoenix and Prescott, Arizona. They've been with us a long time. Happy to be on the air down there. We appreciate all of you out there in the Western United States listening to the show. In studio with me, Maria Ahlers and Jenni Leavitt. We're talking about the acquisition and the partnership between Leavitt Strategic Benefits and the formerly RPS Benefits by Design. You know, when I was looking through the show notes this morning, I saw started by Dixie Leavitt in 1952. So first of all, who is Dixie Leavitt? And the other thing that's interesting to me is rarely do you see a third generation family hand the baton off and they continue with that business successfully. So tell us a little bit about the history. Who is Dixie? And I want to hear the full name, by the way, because you said it off air. And just tell us a little bit about the company.
Absolutely.
Jenni?
Absolutely. It's a story that is dear to my heart because it was my grandfather, Dixie Lorraine Leavitt, who started.
Dixie Lorraine.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Yes. So
he probably didn't think it was so beautiful in grade school
I'm
and
sure
high school.
He didn't love it. It's like a boy named Sue.
Yeah.
But my father always said that he would talk to his grandmother about where that name came from, and she would just sternly say, I liked it. She really wanted a girl. And so she had already found that name.
Oh, that's
and she
hilarious.
was sticking to it. So Dixie Leavitt, he was always and still is. He's nearly 97 years old. He'll be 97 in August. And he started as a school teacher. Just started selling insurance on the side to supplement his family's income. And when he learned that he was good at this, he grew his business when Las Vegas was really just growing and in the developmental stage, wrote all the contractors, and that's really where he got his start. And this model started. He learned that he couldn't be in two places at once, Southern Utah and Las Vegas, and this model really came about because he brought his brother Bert Leavitt, who his children and grandchildren still run that agency in Las Vegas today.
That's amazing. That speaks a lot to family values and what you all value. That's really, seriously, quite remarkable in today's world. You just don't see it that often.
It's been very strategic. I will tell you, my family has taken a very, very conservative approach to this business, and we really look at it as just a role that we play to provide a livelihood for so many families and their children, and so really we've taken it and they've decided that, long term we're going to hold on to the majority share of Leavitt Group Enterprises as long as we possibly can. We've talked about going public, but it just doesn't fit our goals for what we would like.
I could see where that would be no.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So just building on that, where we found the most value in this acquisition was the like-minded people that were with the agency. We really wanted to partner and grow and come into a new state with, namely Maria, because we could see that she was going to be really living this legacy that she has started with the help of bringing additional resources and being able to continue to grow.
So how important is culture to you? And you look at Maria when you said that. I know her exceptionally well because I've worked with her for a long time. And when the baton got handed off to her by Philip and making her the president, I thought it was the smartest thing he ever did. How important was that culture to you? When you came in, you met her, you met the staff. I'm sure you've met Hannah and Jackie and all of them, and they all, they're there for one reason. And it's sitting right here between the two of us.
I learned that very, very quickly in our relationship. And I will say, Leavitt Group looks at culture, number one. We've walked away from deals that could be very profitable and could add a lot to our group purely because of culture. And Maria was such a great fit. And it really did turn out to be a very good partnership.
I love their model, Cary. One of the requirements of Leavitt Group is to have local presence and local leadership. They're not coming in to flip us and go through another acquisition. We are in it for life.
Oh my God, they started in 1952.
Yes.
They're not exactly an overnight,
Yes, so they really pride themselves on the model of providing that larger corporate feel, but at that local level. And that's what we like. So it really fit well with us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's going to help you grow. I mean, it
Absolutely.
has to, with the resources they have available and what they're going to bring to the party. It's got to make a huge difference for you, because when you're competing with the mega agencies out there, that's certainly going to give you a better opportunity than you've had in the past.
Yeah, they bring a lot of bench specialties to us that we're seeing that's emerging from employee benefits. A lot of it is our clients want to do a lot of risk management. We know premiums are going up. We know renewals will go up. So part of that is that risk management. The employee benefit piece is so vital to every organization. I think you and I have talked about it. HR studies have shown that benefits is one of the top
Number two
reason. Of why people go work for an organization. So we want to make sure we provide that value to our clients. They have stronger carrier relationships. They have advisory services for us, things that we can keep in-house. And also they have property and casualty agencies. Yes. So now we can be a one-stop shop for all of our clients who want benefits and PNC.
That's nice because it puts everything under one roof. You've got a great reputation here in town. You've grown the business, and it's doing very well. But the fact that they can add to that now, what made you decide? I'm just curious, Jenni. What made you decide before you even knew about Benefits by Design, or maybe you knew about RPS Benefits by Design, Kansas City, this particular metro and market, was because of the agency first, or was it because of the metro first?
Definitely the agency first.
Okay, that's interesting.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, it's so much based on relationship and based on the people. And once that is aligned and our culture is a good fit, everything else kind of falls into place. There absolutely is opportunity in the Kansas City area, but the agency came first.
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense when you think about it. I mean, you've got a lot of clients outside of Kansas City. Some of those are still the Benefits by Design clients, like David Wickham Glass down in Wichita, Kansas. I mean, you've got people been with that agency, our agency, your agency, for 20 years.
That's right. And Leavitt has the same retention with theirs. So it's just the right fit for us.
Well, that's what makes sense, and that is what makes a difference. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about some of the specific things they're going to be able to do that are different than what they've done in the past, how you, as an employer, might benefit from that. Stay tuned. You're listening to America's Healthcare Advocate, broadcasting here on the HIA Radio Network, coast to coast across the USA. Once again, that website, Leavitt.com. That's Leavitt.com. Or call Maria today at 877-385-2224. If you need help, give them a call. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break with more. Welcome back. You're listening to America's Healthcare Advocate Show, broadcasting coast to coast across the USA here on the HIA Radio Network. In studio with me today, Maria Ahlers and Jenni Leavitt. We're talking about Leavitt Strategic Benefits, how they are now RPS Benefits by Design, or other way around. I think it's RPS Benefits by Design is Leavitt Strategic Benefits. What is it? What are they bringing to the marketplace here that's going to change some of the landscape in the Kansas City metro and across Kansas? Because there are clients of RPS Benefits by Design in Wichita, in Hayes, and Scott City, in the Boot Heel of Missouri, all over in local areas, as well as some out-of-state clients as well. So let's just talk a little bit about some of the things that you're looking forward to. They're going to be a lot different than what they've been in the past. Maria?
Yeah, well, Cary, I think the most important thing that I want to stress that will not change is we're going to have the same team, just stronger support. So all of our account managers, all of our client services, all of our benefits consultants, it's all going to be the same. Clients do not need to worry about getting change in staffing. You're still going to work with the same people, with the same relationship that we know your organization, and you're going to get this at least the same level of high quality service, if not better, with the Leavitt Group. So we love it that we have the local feel, but the national strength. And what does that mean, the national strength? It means expanded tools, expanded data analysis, resources that includes data analytics, pharmacy consulting, actuarial support, compliance support, technology, claims advocate support, wellness strategies, all of those things that the larger brokerage has. But sometimes you get lost in those larger brokerage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where here, you have that capability, but you still get that local feel. And the nice thing is Leavitt Group is able to support us in all of our markets. We're in Arizona. We're in New Mexico.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, where our other offices are. We're in St. Joe, Missouri, Fort Scott, Kansas, and then, of course, our corporate office here is in Overland Park, Kansas. So we're so excited that they're able to provide the support to all of our markets and all of our clients all across the nation and internationally.
Well, you're going to continue with the local feel.
That's right.
But so talk a little about how some of this technology, because you've mentioned it a couple of times, the AI and some of the other things that you're going to be able to do that you haven't been able to do in the past that are going to impact the clients in a very positive way. And for those of you listening to the show that may be looking for something different, maybe you're not real happy with the current broker, you might want to give this a thought. But talk a little bit about that.
When you have a large national strength backup or support, what that means for our clients is we have more buying power, more negotiation power with the BUCAs, with the carriers. But also what we have is the ability to look outside the box, which means the non-BUCA carriers. We've done that with some of our clients. Recently, we did that with one of our clients who got a 47% increase from one of the BUCAs. We went to market and we reduced it to less than 10% from where they're currently at. And how did we do that? My broker competitors out there are like, nope, it's not true. Well, what happens is we use non-BUCA carriers that still uses the same network. So this one was on the Aetna network, same providers, same services, but they're able to give it at a lower rate because they're using AI. They're using AI for their underwriting. Now, they're not using AI for their customer service, which really doesn't matter because you are using us anyways. So we would deal with that. We would call the, as you put it, the 1-800 don't give a damn number. Is that?
That's a famous commercial from years ago, folks. You probably might have heard it. If you want to call the 1-800 I don't give a damn number, or you can call Benefits by Design.
That's it. That's exactly
By the way,
right.
Jenni, that commercial got a lot of play.
Yeah, it did.
And people said, did you really say that? Yes, I did really say that, and I meant it.
Yes. So call us. Then you don't have to face that. But because of those partnerships and because of Leavitt, we have more buying power and more negotiation power.
Well, customer service has always been your strong suit.
Absolutely.
And now you're adding to that by the partnership, the association here with Leavitt Strategic Benefits, and it's gonna tilt things differently in terms of giving you the ability to compete and bring new product. As you just said, they got a 47% increase,
right?
And you moved them down to 10%. I would guess you're probably going to have a client for life out of that group.
And that's what we do. We really focus on the strategy. We focus on what's right for our clients. More and more, we hear from our clients, they want strategy. They don't just want us to present them with, oh, here are your benefits plan, here are your options, here's what's going to cost you. We talk about, let's create an HSA. With that particular client, we saved them enough that they were able to, we added an HSA plan, so then they were able to contribute to the employee's HSA, which helped them with recruiting and retention. That's strategy.
That's how you connect the dots.
That's strategy.
It is.
Strategy isn't, well, let's just switch out the plans. That helps, but strategy is putting in something in place that really helps keep those employees feel they're being invested in, and that's what we're passionate about. I mean, my background is HR. I'm so passionate about.
We don't hold that against you, just so you know. Okay, she was a human resource director. That's correct. Cringe, all of you out there. Okay.
But it's my passion is helping people, and that's what we do at Benefits by Design or Leavitt Strategic Group. And honestly, with all the collaboration with Leavitt Group Enterprise, they're on the same wavelength as we are. We go to them with ideas, especially Jenni, and she's like, let's think of it this way. Let's think of it that way. So we're so excited of what's coming in the future and what we can do together.
Well, go back to that a minute, because that example, because that was really kind of interesting. You go from a 47% increase to a 10% increase, and this employer obviously was pretty smart, because they were smart enough to go, let's put some of that back into the company and help our employees. Well, the message that sends to the employees, they really do care about us.
That's right.
Because employers are struggling with this. I mean, if you're not a 1,000-life group that can go out and do a Pareto Contrarian Re or a Berkeley Hamilton Captive, a major self-funded plan, they're the ones that are trapped in this, and they can't get out of it. And so you've got to have somebody that's got the ability to look at them and go, there's a better way to do this. Let's show it to you.
And to this client's credit, she was very open to what is it we need to do. We can't afford 47%. So we presented it to her and go, okay, here's how much we're going to save you. Here's what we suggest you do. And even with the contribution that she was putting into her employees' HSA account, they still had a savings overall from what we did. Again, I can't stress enough to my clients or to any company out there. Strategy isn't just about just changing plans or changing carriers. Strategy is about thinking about how this is going to impact your employees long term. Strategy is really looking at how do we create more a robust benefits package, but yet save the company money, save the employees money but not saving on the benefits, giving them the benefits that employees really need.
So Jenni's just sitting here listening to this. Is this the reason why you chose?
Exactly why. She's passionate. And that drives everything, really.
And you're a family-owned company, and you're looking at this as they're now becoming part of your family.
That's exactly right.
And that's really what you're trying to accomplish.
And that's the representation that we look for.
Yeah, because you've got to have that connectivity in the marketplace. But the key to the thing is connecting the dots, Maria, like you just talked about. You've got, if the typical broker walks in and goes, okay, here's the spreadsheet, pick your poison.
That's right.
That's not a strategy.
No.
Okay?
No.
Yeah, showing up once a year with a spreadsheet's not a strategy. What you just described is a strategy.
Yeah, we met with another client that had a large increase. Their demographic of employees were young, and they had all these PPO plans that were, as you know, are expensive.
Right.
And we suggested, is there a reason why you're not doing a high HSA plan or a MEC plan for that matter?
And they probably didn't know what it was.
That's right. They said our broker didn't even talk to us about that. That's strategy. Looking at not just the rate of the premiums and what the participation is. Let's do a deeper dive. Let's look and see what your claims are. Let's look and see what your risks are. Let's look and see what your employee demographics are. All that matters.
It matters a lot. And that is why you probably should pick up the phone and give them a call at 913-385-2224. Anywhere in the country, by the way. Doesn't matter where you are, they can help you. As I said, they're in New Mexico, Arizona. They can help you any place in the country if you want help. 913-385-2224. The website, leavitt.com. That's leavitt.com. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break as we wrap it up. You're listening to America's Healthcare Advocate, broadcasting here on the HIA Radio Network, coast to coast, across the USA. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're listening to America's Healthcare Advocate Show, broadcasting coast to coast across the USA here on the HIA Radio Network. You want to find out more about us, go to the website, americashealthcareadvocate.com. You want to tell somebody about what you're hearing here today. Maybe you're an HR director and you guys are not happy with who you've got for a broker. You might want to refer them to the podcast or to the YouTube. All the shows are posted up there. After do each and every one of them. If you have a question or a comment, go to the website, America's Healthcare Advocate. Send me an email. I get a lot of them, but I answer each one of them. So, Maria, what can people expect now from you as you go through this transition and this change?
We have a lot of things that are happening and that will be coming out. Jenni, you want to talk about what can our clients expect as far as communication and what it looks like now that we're the Leavitt Strategic Group?
Absolutely. So we've really been working closely with Leavitt Group's marketing and media team to put together a smooth transition and this press release and the announcement of the new name. Really, the clients are going to be able to enjoy the same benefits they've always had. It's the same staff, it's the same name, not name, but it's the same team
yes.
that has always been there. And just increased visibility and the ability to be able to take advantage of a lot of the new services and resources that'll be coming out.
That's exactly right. We'll be putting out a press release this week, and then on May 18th, we will officially be using our leavitt.com email
my birthday.
address.
That's amazing.
May 18th.
That was on purpose. The man who started it all.
That's good. Yeah.
That was on purpose.
Yeah.
So we'll be sending out postcards to our clients to let them know of our acquisition. And then, of course, this radio show that we'll be posting to let our clients know as well.
You will indeed. Talk a little bit about if, there are brokers out there, the small producers out there that are looking for a way to affiliate with a company, with an agency that's really going to treat them the way they want to be treated. So talk a little bit about that. Jenni, you can talk about that, and then Maria, talk about that a little bit. About, I heard you mention off air you're meeting with somebody tomorrow and having a conversation. So it's a different feel coming into this group than it is going to one of the giant producers out there and trying to function in that and swim in that water. So talk a little bit about that.
So this is a family-owned company, and partnering with Maria, who oversees all of it, it really does make a difference. We really encourage autonomy in every agency, and it provides opportunity for producers and flexibility and the ability to be able to grow in ways that really could be limited with larger brokerages.
Yeah, they are. It seems like the small-time independent brokers are an endangered species right now, to a large degree. Okay, because they're competing and they don't have the tools. And you have the tools. You had some of these tools before, but you most certainly have them now. So brokers out there, if you're listening to this and you're thinking maybe, you might want to have a conversation with these folks, right?
Love to have conversation with them. I think what really sets us apart, Cary, is as we grow, there are opportunities. And opportunities that we count on our team to come up with the ideas. You're not just a number within our organization. What you say matter. I listen to my team a lot as far as their feedback on what we can do better, what our clients need, and then we as a team decide how we're going to roll that out, implement it. So if you're somebody who has a passion for service, for helping people, I don't know that anybody really has a passion for benefits and insurance, but if you
I don't know. I think you've had a passion for it for some time, and I see. I've been doing it for 31 years, so I guess you'd have to say there is some passion.
I have a passion for helping people.
Well, that's how you do it.
That's right. And so if you have a passion for that, and you really you have an entrepreneur mind, this is the place for you. There isn't layers and layers and layers of approval. Let's work together. Let's figure out what we need to do. Let's figure out how we can do better. I think, Jenni has spent some time with me where she sees the light bulb comes on, and I'm just like, Jenni, let's do this. Jenni, let's do that. And she's like, yes. And she helps now at that corporate level to help implement or roll out that strategy. Furthermore, what is so exciting is that we take the ideas from each of the agencies that are under the Leavitt Group, and we come together and collaboratively think about what is best for our clients and what we can do better for our clients. These decisions aren't just made at the top, where the ones that sit, in the C-suites are going, let's figure this out. It's coming from the frontline people, the people who are dealing, helping our clients, the people who are out in the market, the people who are seeing what each market needs.
They're all different.
They are. And so for us to be able to get those feedback from our team, and then really roll it out either locally or at the national level is just so exciting. Well, and one of those actually, Cary, is gig care. We're talking about rolling out gig care. I talked to Jenni about it, and she got excited about it. So now we're meeting with corporate to discuss it. Well,
and gig care is a product that the Tego put together. We rolled it out with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Now we're working with Aetna, and it's for 1099 employees, and that's exactly what Maria is talking about. It's a product that is very different than it is a non-BUCA product from that standpoint, and you're successful with it, and you're doing very well with it, and you're going to be doing more of it evidently.
We're hoping to do a lot more of it, and with the Leavitt Group's corporate help, we're hoping to really expand it because we see a need for it. What did you say? How many?
88 million.
88 million contractors.
1099 employees out there today.
Exactly.
Those are realtors. Those are franchise owners. Those are truck drivers. They're Uber drivers. They're FedEx drivers. Believe it or not, those FedEx drivers are 1099 drivers that are driving those local delivery trucks. Those are all 1099 drivers. So there's a huge need, and we think gig care fills that space pretty well.
And Leavitt Group Enterprises feels that way too. And that's the beauty of working with such an organization like this.
I think you're excited.
A little bit.
Just a lot of bit. Thank you
A
both
lot
for
of it.
being
Thank
here today.
you.
Great.
Cary.
Hope to have you back again and talk about some of the other things we're doing. You know, if you want information, go to their website. There's a lot of information up there, or just reach out to Maria. Hey, maybe you're that producer out there that really would like to grow his agency or her agency, and you don't have the ability to do that. These folks do. They'd be happy to talk to you. Once again, the phone number, 913-385-2224, the website, leavitt.com. That's leavitt.com. And now I leave you with this thought from Albert Einstein. The one who follows the crowd will usually get no further than the crowd. The one who walks alone is likely to find himself in places no one has ever been. Remember, friends, it's the funny thing about life. If you refuse to accept anything but the very best, you most often get it. Thank you for listening to America's Healthcare Advocate Show, broadcasting coast to coast across the USA here on the HIA Radio Network. Goodbye, America.